if there's one thing I need to fix about Overwatch 2, it's definitely Bastion and the 5v5 decision. So yeah, you can just change all the tanks to become better and make all the other heroes used to the 6v6 format and take them just and put them in the 5v5 format just like that with minor changes. No, it doesn't work like that. And why I'm also against 5v5, I mean. Well, if you don't know, there's a game mode in the game called Deathmatch. And this game mode sometimes has an has a competitive version of it. So yeah, having tanks powered up to fill the role of two tanks in a team makes it super boring to play deathmatch when 5 of 7 people are playing Roadhog. Like, you cannot play any other hero other than a tank to compete in deathmatch. It's not even fair unless they, well, lock all the tanks from deathmatch, which is extra boring because what if I main a diva? If I only like playing diva, it would be kinda shite to not be able to play her in deathmatch. So yeah, is even anyone playing the capture the I'll just leave it be. So yeah, about the 5v5, 5v 6v6 thing, it's just bad. It's really really bad. Unless in deathmatch there is a let's say a different kind of balancing where tanks are as good as normal heroes. Like you have a different kind of tank when you play competitive and when you play deathmatch. The competitive version is stronger because you need to fill the role of two tanks, while the deathmatch version is weaker because you'll end up facing other, well, support heroes and DPS heroes who don't fill the role of two supports or two DPS. So yeah, about all of that whole thing, I just see it as really bad decision for the whole game, not just competitive. And when it comes to Bastion, my main complaint is, well, look, first of all, so you don't just say that I'm only saying bad shit about Overwatch 2, I will say the good shit first. First of all, I really love the grenade. The grenade is pretty good, I'm gonna say. I mean, I don't like how it looks, just like this yellow blob thing. I don't know why it looks like that. I'm guessing because they talked about the wanting the visuals to be clearer for competitive play and this kind of stuff for like Overwatch League and this kind of shit. Anyway, I personally like it not because of the damage, of course. I don't care about more damage to Bastion. I like it because of the mobility options you can use it for. I mean, if you have seen in Temple of Anubis, like I'm talking about the game I just played, the first one. I really wanted to go up there at the bridge thing in the second point, but I couldn't because I was waiting for tank mode, and every single time I got tank mode, Anna gave me the nano boost, so I blast the enemy. I didn't have the opportunity to go up there and just blast them down. So yeah, when it comes to that, I really like the mobility option inside Bastion's kit instead of in the ultimate. However, that does not mean that I'm okay with the ultimate change. I think that the only solution for the ultimate change is to revert it to tank mode, like a full-on reversion. Take away artillery, like no one cares about it. Like, come on. Let's be real. We turned from aiming and predicting where the enemy goes while rocket jumping and mastering rocket jump with healing in between shots. All of that skill gap, we went from there to what? Just drop them on the payload. Yeah, literally. Just drop the three shots on the payload, and I think you're good because believe me, I have tried in the beta gameplay. You may wanna predict where the enemy goes, you may wanna put it on them. It doesn't matter as long as the enemy has mobility options. They will use it, and if they hear you, like if you wanna be sneaky and like, oh, I'm gonna drop it when they don't have the ability when they do have the ability cooldown. Well, let me tell you that it doesn't work like that. They'll when they hear the ultimate noise, they'll just save their mobility options for escaping you. Even though escaping doesn't really require a mobility option, it's so easy to not get hit by one of those. I mean, all three you might get hit by all three, but it is so cheesy as an ultimate and so boring. It requires you to camp somewhere where they can't find you, or just do it in front of them if you want. But I mean, you're more likely to die doing that, just like Junkrat. But look how much we have went from a giant skill gap with multiple ways to play tank mode. You can just use it normally. You can use the rocket jumps for, well, more advantage, more aerial advantage. It's much better to attack enemies from above instead of the same platform. And just overall, it's just I think it's more effective as an ultimate. I mean, if you're gonna say, but there was Reinhardt, their shields, double shields, uh, Diva, she has defense matrix, and now most tanks have defense matrix or some weird ass shit. Let me tell you that Diva can literally suck all three rockets of artillery. Yeah, yep, artillery is worse than tank mode. Reinhardt? Well, you can just put your shield up and no one's gonna get hurt, other than your shield, of course. That's it. While in tank mode, you can rocket jump and aim your shots yourself and not rely on some weird airstrike where let me talk about this, the camera movement. The camera movement is dog shit. I hate it. When you want to go from some for like if you have two platforms, sometimes it doesn't go inside the building, it goes over the building if there's like a cliff there you can shoot from or something. It's so bad. It is really fucking bad. The whole camera movement is dog shit. I hate it so much. And you don't have the time to tweak it before Bastion just goes, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna cancel my ult. Just revert it. Just there's no other way. Artillery supports everything bad in current Bastion. The campy, the no skill gappy, the unfun, the boring, every single thing. Ineffective against most heroes. It is so bad. So bad for Bastion. And yeah, I think that's it. And yeah, of course, I'm gonna, of course, talk about Bastion's survivability. Yeah, how can I not talk about that? So, Bastion is a giant dude. Like a giant, like, I'm talking bigger than some tanks. I'm 100% sure that Bastion's hitbox is bigger than Zarya and Junker Queen. I am 100% positive about that. Not in turret form, in recon mode. I'm 100% sure he's bigger than them while having less HP than them. And all I have to say is they need to add, if they don't want to, well, change his size, they need to add a system where Bastion can get damage resistance. Basically, a way to return Ironclad. If you don't remember what Ironclad is, like you've been playing Overwatch 2 for so long, it's still in the game right now, in current Bastion. It's basically when you go to turret form, sentry mode, whatever you want to call it, you get damage resistance to everything, basically. I don't remember how much it was because back when they added it with the whole Bastion mega buff, where he used to heal while moving, heal through damage, and that kind of stuff, faster transformation, turret mode wider, stuff like that. They made it so his resistance was kind. I don't remember the percentage, but I think it was 35 or something like that, and it was broken as shit. You could live through everything if you just heal. So yeah, they nerfed it. He became much weaker without the mega buff, and I think that's okay. It was broken. Everyone was using Bastion just because he's broken, while I'm just using him because I love playing him. I've played his earlier versions where he was dog shit. Only third form was okay. Because I'm saying okay because, well, while the spread was great and he had critical damage, he wasn't able to heal himself. If you heal yourself, you first cannot move, which is not a problem for Sentry Form, of course. You cannot move in general. And second, if anyone damages you, your healing basically stops. And I do remember that you had infinite healing, but the healing rate was slower, like you heal less than you do now. Anyway, it's just that the survivability in a new Bastion is dog shit without any healing. You basically, right now, in the current Bastion, you need healers to babysit you, and you need two tanks to cover you, so you can do anything, basically. And I'm talking about competitive and plat and above, like diamond and above. That's where I'm at in console. In PC, I haven't played competitive. I don't care about playing competitive. It's just a waste of time for me. So yeah, as a giant dude, like I always hate that they had the opportunity where they made Overwatch 2, which is not an expansion, of course. So fucking dumb. Anyway, they made Overwatch 2 and they redesigned all the heroes. Not redesigned, just made them older with skins. However, they had a huge opportunity with Bastion to change his overall design to become smaller. Like make Torbjorn make him smaller and more advanced and that kind of stuff. They had that opportunity and they threw it out of the window. And while they're at it, they removed self repair, which I absolutely disagree with. Anyone who thinks that's okay, like the absence of self heal in the Bastion's kit is okay, can suck my cock. So I think that if they're not gonna bring back self repair like as it is, I've had some solutions for Bastion's survivability. First of all, that grenade. I know they buffed it in the latest beta. It became like 8 seconds. Maybe you can leave it like that and it's gonna be okay, but I think 6 seconds or 7 seconds are gonna be much better for my idea, which is the grenade does not damage enemies. I think Bastion has enough damage on his own. So make it that the healing grenade, just like its color, yellow, make it heal you. So when you use it for mobility, you actually benefit from it as you can heal through it instead of it damaging you. Because in current beta or in the upcoming Overwatch 2 release, Bastion is gonna damage himself while rocket jumping, even though he needs survivability. And he cannot heal himself through that damage. That damage is gonna stay there, and you're just gonna wait for a healer to heal you through rocket jumping, which is absolutely dog shit. You are not Farah. Farah already has an option to launch herself without damaging herself. Junkrat already doesn't damage himself anymore. He used to damage himself, but they removed the self damage. So it's only fair. Like, there's also Zarya, but I don't call that rocket jumping. That's just hopping. That's not a fucking jump. It's so low for me to call it more than just a hop, a rocket hop. So also Zarya has blue HP, which regenerates. Anyway, so Bastion is the only one who sucks at this. Soldier can heal himself through the Helix rocket. Anyway, so yeah, Bastion is the only one in the entire game who damages himself when rocket jumping, which is absolutely bad. He's the worst hero you want to do self damage to without giving him any healing options. And holy shit, this searching for capture the flag game is taking way too long. I'm just gonna leave it because I don't really care about playing another match. I just wanna focus on the Bastion rework thing. You either do this or I don't want it to be either or. I want it to be do both. Make the grenade self heal and return Ironclad behind a system. Don't make it so whenever you go turret mode, or turret mode is not no longer a thing. Whenever you go, I don't know, half tank, half sentry mode, you gain 15% shield or something like that. No, no, I don't want that because that would mean that my recon mode would still be shit. And about recon mode, I hate the primary fire. I much prefer the current fi- uh, firing style rather than the scout rifle thing. I don't know, I just hate the scout rifle. I don't like it. It is much more punishing for Bastion's kit. When you miss shots, of course, it is much more punishing, and Bastion doesn't need any more punishing mistakes as he's already too weak and too big with not enough HP for his massive size. So I definitely do not like the new recon mode gun. And when it comes to my idea for Ironclad, I think that all you need to do is add a system, and that system is when Bastion damages enemies, he gains, like, bit by bit, he gains this shield, just like how Zarya gains a shield by being damaged. She doesn't gain a shield, she gains that more damage while being damaged. Make it so Bastion, as long as he damages the enemy, he gains damage resistance. And once he stops damaging, like, it can go on for like 4 to 5 more seconds before it slowly drops or just goes away. And I think that's a great way to make Bastion more resistance and not die as often. Oh yeah, and about one of the most important things in Bastion, of course, which is, well, Sentry Form. I don't know what to think of Sentry mode. I both like it and hate it. Hear me out. I like that, not the moving part. I don't care if he can move. Why? Because he's still slower than all heroes. Bastion's problem wasn't just that he was immobile while in turret form. It was also that whenever you turn to turret form, all the enemy had to do to, like, not die to you was just not engage you. And you're just gonna switch to recon mode, they're gonna hear it because Bastion is loud as fuck, and guess what? You're gonna die. You're just gonna die as recon mode. And then you, Bastion, you're gonna say, oh wait, but you can now move. Yeah, you can move, you're still slow, you're still really, really slow. They can still escape you. Like, most heroes have mobility options. You can use your mobility option, but guess what? You're damaged. You do not need any more damage taken, especially when you're trying to engage someone in a fight. I mean, I always do it for fun, but I know it's not efficient for playing competitively. You're much better off just not using it. I mean, the grenade, the rocket jump, while in turret form. So yeah, and I hate that it has a cooldown now, because the whole idea behind Bastion, like the current Bastion, if you've seen all my montages, all my gameplay, I always switch so much between recon and turret. I like to think that the turret mode is the battle mode and the recon mode is the repositioning mode. You can fight while in recon, but you're not effective enough. It's not strong enough to fight and win a gunfight against most heroes. So I just think that restricting that freedom is really bad for Bastion. You used to have much more freedom to what you wanna use, what you're gonna do, how you plan this and that. Now you're just locked behind a cooldown and all that thinking is gone. It's just a cooldown now. There's no thinking behind it. No strategy, no nothing. So yeah, I really hate that. I have a solution which doesn't involve Bastion having turret mode for an infinite amount of time. I know that you don't want to see Bastion just be turret mode the whole fucking time. So I made a mode, or or rather, a change to how turret form works. If you know how they redesigned or reworked Orisa's gun, how it has now an overheat, like if you shoot too much, it goes into overheat mode and you need to reload it. But if you don't overheat it, you can shoot as much as you want. That's how I want Recon Sentry Form to become. So basically, you have this meter, and now that the self-heal meter is gone, you can put this meter instead. So you have this meter, and you can use turret mode as long as this meter does not hit the maximum amount. And don't make it like the same as Orisa, like the gun, it slowly, uh, it recovers like really fast. Make the recovery a bit harsher. Like make it just like now. Right now, or not, I don't mean now, I mean like in the current Overwatch 2 beta. Make it so Sentry Form still has only 6 seconds. However, you can use these 6 seconds and cancel it to save energy and not overheat. If you overheat, you go onto cooldown. And that cooldown is the really bad 12-second cooldown that they added. That would make it so you can engage much better, and when you get flanked, you have a much better option to face flankers, because believe me, if you get flanked by a Reaper, you are gone as recon mode. You are not gonna tell me that you can kill a Reaper in recon mode. No matter how good you are, you're gone as recon mode if a Reaper engages you. But with restrictions. If you overheat, you go into cooldown. If you don't overheat, like you have a recovery, but it's not that fast. You can still use it halfway and you'll only have 3 seconds. And I think that's a lot better than whatever we have now. Because guess what? Sometimes you use turret sentry form and the enemy just doesn't engage you. And you're just too slow to be able to catch them in these next 6 seconds. So if you want to catch them, you need to, well, cancel turret form and go to recon so you can move faster. And guess what? Recon mode is not efficient enough to engage most heroes. And you're stuck in a 12-second cooldown because your turret form was wasted. Why? There was no enemies to use it on. You don't want to use it as you're in front of the enemy because, well, guess what? There is transformation animation going on and you don't want to get hit while in that. So you really want to use it before you engage people. You can also use like the rocket jump again and transform midair, but that's still damaging you. You're still damaged. You're trying to make the damage as small as possible because you cannot afford to take any damage now. Anyway, that's like my whole idea behind the new Bastion. I think that Ironclad should come back by damaging other enemies, and it goes away when you don't damage. The self heal comes back through the grenade, and you still can rocket jump, but I mean, you can damage enemies, but you don't need to. Like, I'm okay with both damaging enemies with it and not damaging. The ultimate, just full reversion, just revert the ultimate, and that's it. And also, because self-healing is not a thing anymore, make tank mode not able to damage yourself. You can use the rocket jump as much as possible. And yeah, the turret form, I think that you need to use it on a meter and not based on cooldown. Once you hit the limit of the meter, you lose it and it becomes a cooldown until you can use it again. That's the best solutions for the new Bastion to make him as engaging and as fun of a character compared to what they're gonna do to him now. Like, just thinking about that Bastion, that new Bastion that I created, makes the Overwatch 2 Bastion so fucking boring. Extremely boring. You can also do something about the Recon gun, because I really do not like it. You can do something, but you don't need to, because I never thought of Recon mode as the main combat mode. The main combat mode is obviously Sentry Form. It has been like that since 2016. So, yeah, I know that was a massive rant. I don't like to think of it as a rant. I like to think of it as a discussion. I just gave my ideas and all of that because, and believe me, I wouldn't make a video this long about Bastion if I did not care. Look at all my previous videos. You won't find a video as long as this of just me discussing something. I really care about this hero. It's the only hero I really enjoy in the game. I think all the other heroes are super boring. Not because their kit is boring, just because they're not a transforming robot. That's the whole appeal of Bastion for me. Since 2016, I've liked Bastion because he's a transforming robot. He has many modes you can use, and right now you can only use one mode. The other mode is locked behind a cooldown, which at best you can only use it 33% of any match because you can use it as 6 seconds and it has a 12 cooldown second. So, yeah, when it comes to that, you can only use it like at most effectively 33% of any match. That's it. The whole 77% is just. I think I'm missing something. 60. I'm shit at math. Fuck off. Yeah, the other percentage, the bigger percentage, it's just you recon moding behind your teammates, like in the most boring way possible. And let's talk about something. Why is the new recon not supportive of Bastion's kit? The grenade, you obviously want to shoot it at a closer target because you aiming from far, you're likely gonna miss the grenade. The turret mode, it's obviously for closer ranges, not longer ranges. And suddenly you have, for some reason, Recon mode, which is heavily focused on long ranges. You can't even play Recon mode and switch between Recon and Sentry because one of them focuses on close range and the other focuses on long range. They're not working together. There's a problem there. Like when you're in Recon mode, you need to come closer to use turret mode effectively. However, when you're in turret mode, if you go out of turret mode, you're in this weird position where you're really close to a lot of enemies, and all you have is tick, 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 like then your recon mode, which is really bad at close ranges. It's much harder to aim with, and most heroes are gonna obliterate you in that range. So I don't know where's the synergy. There's zero synergy in the new Bastion. Everything works on its own. There's nothing working together. While in my Bastion, I'm trying to make everything work together. The whole resistance, the whole self heal and while rocket jumping, the whole being able to use turret mode effectively with recon mode, so you can create a synergy between a close ranged weapon and a long ranged weapon. This is how you rework a hero that needs more mobility, not whatever you just did to the beta. Anyway, if you're still here, thank you. Really, I appreciate it. Not because of view time, just because I really want people to hear this, to hear the whole thing about Bastion. I really want to spread this video as much as possible, even if it gets like one more view. Anything, bro. I'm down for anything. Just don't give me that new Bastion. Don't give me the Overwatch 2 Bastion. It is super boring. It is extremely boring. I hate it so much. And speaking of the devil, Overwatch, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck is 37 minutes of searching for a match? This is bullshit, bro. Anyhow, be safe and yeah, see you next time. Hopefully in another Bastion video before Overwatch 2. I may make one because I really, really will miss this current Bastion tank mode self heal. I'm really gonna miss it. So yeah, thank you for watching and wait, that's not my outro. Get the fuck out.